Guided locomotion for imaging and deep exploration. I'm Ethan Shover. With me, I have Lauren Proctor and Stevie Galuskio. We have our project walkthrough.
So for a quick walkthrough of our project so far, our currently functional aspects, we have our buoyancy control working, meaning we can make the glide go up and down in the water. We have our tilt sensor and our acoustic sensor um, wired up and working for testing, not fully integrated yet though. So we're planning on getting those fully integrated into the system, as well as our other planned features is a serial data logger, so we can log data from all these sensors on board into a file. Rudder control, so we can steer the craft, and mission replay slash visualization, so we can review the data afterwards after it's been logged.
Yeah, so some of the issues we've run into when developing our glider, we've had an issue with water tightness in the past in the body of the glider. This comes into play with our peristaltic pump with the tube that runs out of the main body, and it's kind of prone to leakage and breakage with the adhesive. Um, so we're mitigating that with a new reservoir design, which is now a PVC pipe. And then another issue we've kind of run into is our some of our components have been breaking, and we've also had some wiring mishaps. So we've had to reorder some parts and wait on those to come in, which has kind of set us back in our timeline. And then just making sure we're wiring parts correctly so we don't get faulty readings or unexpected behavior.
And for our testing plan, it's fairly straightforward. There's two components. We have our physical testing and our software testing. Our physical testing will primarily focus on waterproofing. So we want to be able to submerge the vehicle for at least 30 minutes without any water leaking into the container. We want to do our buoyancy control test. So right now we have it moving up and down, and that's great, but we want to be able to continually do that and not just have it done in one cycle. We want to be able to do multiple cycles. Our motion testing, so that includes forward controls and reacting to obstacles. And that will come after we integrate the rest of our sensors. And we also want to do rigor testing, which is basically just putting the device in open water and seeing if it can do all of these tasks together where there's unknown obstacles and we don't know the terrain and we don't have anything quite planned out, and see how it performs. And then we have software testing, which contains sensor testing. So that's mostly our gyroscopic data and making sure that we account for any offsets or any issues that came with the device when it was first programmed. And then our acoustic sensor, just making sure that the distance is correct there. And then the file management with our serial data logger, we want to make sure that all of our data is getting recorded correctly. So that way, when we plug it into the visualizer, everything works correctly. And our display data testing, which is that visualizer we were talking about, so that we have the heading of the device is correctly displayed. So we kind of want to manually keep track of, okay, at what time was the device pointed forward, backwards, up, or down, and then compare that to what we have visualized and see if they're the same. And the same thing with distance to objects. We want to make sure that our visualization, so if something is, say, 1 meter away in person and we manually record that, we want to make sure that our visualizer also records that as being about 1 meter away. And next up is our individual roles. Mine will be hardware integration and hardware testing. So that's mostly just attaching the remaining sensors to the existing electronics and ensuring waterproofing and all of the systems are working correctly together.
Yeah, and so my roles are the sensor integration, so just implementing the functionality of the remaining sensors, and then just aiding with the testing process and making sure the sensors are set up correctly.
And my roles would be software visualization slash mission replay part of the project we were describing earlier, and the design of any 3D printable parts we need in the future, maybe to mount the sensors.
And that is our project. Thank you so much. Alrighty.